Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Muhammad Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Gayle Lantz. Gayle is the CEO of On the Go podcast. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Gayle Lantz. Gayle, welcome.
Thank you, Siddique.
I love your background.
Yes, thank you. WorkMatters Worldwide Headquarters.
Yeah, absolutely. For every guest, you can start pitching without even saying a first word, having the right background.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
cool. Work matters. Work matters. That's great. Work matters. Let's get to the work then. Gail, let me start with this.
Yes.
Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to get started with the podcast CEO on the go?
Where was I and what happened to get the podcast started was the pandemic. So I decided around March or April that I wanted to still serve my market in more modern ways and ways that made sense given what the constraints were. I'd been thinking about it for a while. I've written a lot of articles and I have a book called Take the Bull by the Horns, a lot of content that I can share. So I decided to launch the podcast as an experiment to get some good ideas and content out there and perspective that I thought that my clients needed, mainly senior executives and CEOs that I serve.
Mhm.
So
No, this is
yeah,
great.
responding to the world. Yeah.
Yeah, staying connected with your audience, especially in your marketplace in these
Yes.
very interesting times.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Being
So
able
how
to
that
adapt quickly.
absolutely. So how that has been working for you, in new method of staying connected.
It's been great. I've met a lot of interesting people as I do more interviews myself. Then it's a great way to learn from other people, to help them showcase what insights they have to share. Interviewing other CEOs. I think CEOs like to hear from other CEOs. So
Mhm.
I'll be doing more interviews to help bring their knowledge and wisdom, into the conversations that we're having. I think that will be really valuable for a lot of people to hear.
Mhm. Wonderful. So, Gail, in your marketplace, you're dealing with the C-level executives, especially the founders and CEOs of the companies. What are the
Yes.
top three missteps to avoid to maintain the leadership in interesting times?
Yeah, gosh. Some of the mistakes is to think that you're going to go back to normal. I've had to have some tough conversations with some senior executives to help them understand that the goal is really not to try to go back to where you were. I hear a lot of people say, we've got to get back to work, get back in the office. We want to do what we were doing. And uh, everything has shifted. There's a new paradigm. So I think one of the mistakes that CEOs make is not understanding clearly enough how critical it is to think more innovatively and to move forward very quickly to the extent that they can to kind of transform what they're doing and see themselves.
We lost your audio. I cannot hear you. Is there something happened? Folks, we apologize. This is technology. You are muted now, so maybe you want to unmute.
Unmute.
Yeah, we're good. Good now. We're good. Okay. Can you repeat the last few lines? You said new normal, adapt this. You were saying this.
I was emphasizing the importance of not thinking that you can go back to the way that things were, that to be innovative, to be forward thinking, it requires a different way of thinking, a different kind of energy to help people move forward in new ways. So
Wonderful. Okay, that's the one. I asked for three. So,
great. Okay. Two, the second one is thinking that you have to have it all figured out yourself.
yeah.
CEOs sometimes feel like they have to go up to the mountaintop and think things through and then come down and share everything. You've got to be talking to a lot of people, both within your organization and outside, to help you get the best ideas and momentum that you need to go forward. So not figuring things out on your own is a second challenge, I think, that I see a lot of executives facing. And then a third one might be to to increase your awareness. There's some executives that I work with who understand that they may not see themselves clearly. They've been in their role for a long time. As things are changing, as they've grown and developed, sometimes it's hard to get clarity around your own strengths, who you are, what your talents are, what your own personal aspirations are. So to be sure that you're focused on what's important. I've lost video.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, it's good. You're good.
Okay. So
Okay.
anyway, those were the three that I thought. Not going backwards is critical. Getting the insight and ideas from a wide range of people, not thinking you have to do it yourself, and then also gaining more clarity and self-awareness to help you be most effective in your role.
Yeah. So as a dealing with the CEOs on the Go podcast and working with the CEOs, in your life experiences, what are the top 3 success secrets of successful CEOs on the job?
The ones that I know are willing to admit that they don't know everything. And so they ask for help when they need it. Another tip, I think, is that they see when there are problems that, okay, this is just something, this is an opportunity for us to think differently. So even during the pandemic, they've remained as optimistic as they can. They've consciously looked for new opportunities. They're not being defeated. So it's that willingness to say, things are not going well now, but there's something in here that we're missing, and I'm going to look for that, even though it looks like it's hard to find. We're not going to stop until we find new opportunities through us. So they're relentless about that.
Mhm.
And then another success factor is the compassion that they're having to show now more than ever. That the softer side of leadership is coming out now a lot more than ever. It can no longer be kind of a top-down approach to management. Leaders are having to show empathy. They're having to show, kind of the emotional intelligence skills that have been talked about for many years. People are hurting. People are more real in their conversations and the dialogues that they're having with their leaders, and leaders are having to really kind of show a different side of themselves, being more vulnerable and more empathetic. So,
one more.
now.
Is there any bonus one?
Gosh, well, I could go on about how else to be successful. They also are talking to their peers. Some of the peer groups that I've been running during the pandemic, they met more frequently. We used to meet monthly, but then we stepped that up to every other week because they recognize the importance of staying connected to other leaders who are going through similar experiences. So, working hard to just stay connected to people, especially during the pandemic, has been a challenge. And the leaders who actively seek out ways to nurture their network and stay close to the people whose insights they value is something that helps them be most successful. I've needed that too, just working very independently.
We all need that one. That's why we are learning from each other and connecting. So, Gayle, that's a great knowledge and wisdom you're sharing with us today. And let me ask you a little bit tougher question. So, while you have been coaching and mentoring other CEOs, what's the single most professional failure you had in your, professional life? What did you learn from that, and how did you recover from that?
Oh, the biggest setback that I may have had?
Yeah.
In my own experience, and one of the reasons I started to even found my business, WorkMatters, was I was with a large financial insurance or financial institutional company where I was burning out. I lived in Atlanta, where I think you are now. I was driving around the perimeter of Atlanta on the way to the airport. I missed the exit. I'd gone there hundreds of times, but I missed the exit and realized I'm in a fog. I can't do this anymore. I'd become a million miler frequent flyer before I turned 30. So that was a real wake up call for me to say, I know something needs to change. I don't know what it is. At the time I felt, what is wrong with me? And I think that was my opportunity to say, okay, this is a chance for me to think differently and to really go for what I want to do, even if I don't have it all figured out. It's something that's important enough for me to spend some time. And I realized through that experience, even though I missed my flight, that it was my time to find another exit, and to move towards something that was more motivating for me and more empowering, and that didn't burn me out and that would be energizing for me. So 20 years later or so, I'm still here. And my business has had all kinds of different iterations over the years, serving clients in different ways, which I enjoy. I don't like staying the same. So I think that's how I was able to make the most of a really difficult experience, is instead of beating myself up and thinking, why can't I get my act together? It's, this is time to explore. And I'm going to talk to some people who can help me think and identify a new direction for me that makes sense. And you can do that even at an executive level without leaving your organization, by the way. I never advocate that people just leave something because they're unhappy, but it is an opportunity to go deeper and explore what's really going on and come out the other side feeling more motivated and fulfilled in what you're doing work that matters.
Yeah, thank you. So the 285, that loop you were talking about, that's the, if someone is not from Atlanta, that's
yes.
Parameter, the 285.
It goes all around.
Yeah, all around.
Siddique, I just kept driving around the loop. I didn't get off. I just thought, what is wrong with me? I just was not even thinking. Yeah. And I'd gone to that exit hundreds of times.
Yeah. It's like almost a program. You don't even have to think, So
exactly. But that was my wake-up call. So
yeah. Good. So great. So at least something is tied to Atlanta, so that makes me feel better, So
yes, it's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Growth Hacking Show community, people who are watching this right now, how they can support you?
Well, you're welcome to check out my site, which I see you have there, WorkMatters.com. You can search for my podcast. If you search for CEO on the Go, if you listen on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, just search for CEO on the Go. I'm also joining a new docu-series called The Social Movement, which is a really bold new TV show that attracts entrepreneurial types and business owners who want to come together to solve an impossible world problem. So I'll be in season 2, which airs January, a year from now. But you can find out about that by going to workmatters.com/social movement. You can actually go there and see the trailer for this new TV show that I've gotten myself into. So would love to have your support on that show as well. Yeah, doing crazy things.
Yeah, so I highly recommend you check out workmatters.com because work matters anyway. So that's why,
Yes.
So that's a great. So we are about to wrap up in like a couple of minutes. I like to ask this question to every guest who comes on a show. That's almost like a review and testimonial for the show. And here's the question I ask: what would you say to your best friend about a Growth Hacking Secret show when I'm not there?
I would say that, let's see, what I would say to a friend is that Growth Hacking Secrets offers anyone who cares about growing a business or doing entrepreneurial work to hear from different thought leaders and experts on a wide range of topics that can be really valuable to them, no matter where they are in their career or in their business. So it looks like you're bringing on a lot of different people, diversity of thought leaders, which is fantastic. I would encourage people to check it out.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Really appreciate it. As we are wrapping up, what would you say as a final word?
Final word is, like I said before, always believe that there's opportunity. No matter how dark things may seem or how difficult, believe that there's a way that you can work through them. There's always the blue sky, not to sound too trite, but to actively look for the opportunities that are out there and believe that you can find them, and to connect with other people who can help keep you motivated and where you can be of mutual support along the journey.
Wonderful. That's amazing. And my final word is check out the workmatters.com so that way you can stay connected with Gayle Lantz.
Yes. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Gayle Lantz, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of a Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is
Thank you, Siddique.
This is Muhammad Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.